Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty interesting. Steve Bannon, key Trump strategist.
Right.
Well, now he seems worried about potential Republican budget plans. Our source here is an analysis from the Ring of Fire over on YouTube.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a head turner.
So the big question we're asking is, why? Why would Bannon suddenly seem concerned about policies that might actually hurt, Trump's own base?
It is a fascinating contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bannon's often pushed for, well, smaller government, less spending.
Exactly.
But now he seems uneasy about how these exact kinds of cuts could impact the very people central to Trump's support. It's curious.
Okay, so let's get into the details. The Ring of Fire analysis says Bannon's main concern is these proposed spending cuts, specifically hitting Medicaid. He apparently thinks this could seriously affect a large part of the MAGA base, Trump's core supporters.
Precisely. And the reasoning presented, it's very pragmatic, according to the source. Even if Bannon himself doesn't, ideologically like programs such as Medicaid,
Right.
he reportedly gets that many people in Trump's base depend on them for healthcare, essential stuff. So pushing huge cuts could really backfire, politically speaking.
And the potential scale of these Medicaid cuts, it's pretty staggering. The Ring of Fire points to a Republican proposal could mean around 40 million people losing coverage.
40 million, wow.
Yeah. And considering many in that MAGA demographic are, working class folks who might rely on Medicaid. You can kind of see Bannon's point, right, from a purely strategic angle.
Absolutely. Does the source, the Ring of Fire, dig into why now? Is it just tactics changing or something deeper?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Their take is that it's less about Bannon having some, genuine change of heart about social safety nets.
Right, less about empathy.
And more about, self-preservation, protecting his own influence, maybe. They suggest his worry is really about losing that base of support for the whole movement he's part of.
So a calculated move.
Yeah.
Makes sense, given his background. It's about power, potentially.
And building on that strategic idea, the Ring of Fire also highlights the timing, it seems. Well, kind of late in the game.
How so?
Apparently, this Republican budget proposal, it's already moving forward, gaining momentum.
So Bannon's warnings might be too little, too late.
Could be, or maybe it suggests his influence isn't what it once was. Or perhaps it's a last-ditch effort to, steer the ship.
That really does raise questions about his current political capital, doesn't it? If these proposals are moving despite his apparent reservations. Yeah. And how does this fit with the bigger picture? The general slash and burn approach to spending, sometimes talked about by Trump, and the source even mentions Elon Musk.
Right. The source brings Musk into it briefly.
Does the Ring of Fire suggest this is causing like a real split within those circles, Bannon versus others?
It hints at potential tension, yeah. So, just to recap for everyone listening, you've got Bannon, key Trump architect, now seemingly anxious about how GOP budget plans could negatively impact Trump's own supporters.
Which leaves us and you with a final thought to chew on. Given Bannon's history, his motivations as presented by the Ring of Fire, is this concern real, a genuine shift?
Or is it just pure strategy? Protecting his base, his influence.
Exactly. What does this episode tell us about how these political alliances work, or maybe don't work, and, the real-world consequences when policies meet politics?
Definitely something to keep an eye on as this whole budget debate unfolds.